Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Point 5 episode of the Campfire Council podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening. We really appreciate it. Remember to leave a like, a comment, and press that subscribe button. We would definitely appreciate it. For the Point 5 topic, we have Brandon who is going to take it away. So take it away, Brandon.
So glad to be back. I thought that today would just be kind of a fun time that we can maybe have some moral debates. I'm going to just kind of say a few moral dilemmas. A lot of them you've probably heard before, and just see what people have to say, or like what's morally correct. So the first one is probably the most popular moral dilemma that people have heard of before. It's where a train is barreling towards a group of people. God. And that's the moral dilemma. What do you do? So the first moral dilemma that I have on the list is probably the most popular one that people have heard of before. It's where a train is barreling towards a group of people.
It's just a wild thought.
And it's like, it's going to hit them. Like in this scenario, there's nothing you can do. You can't.
What are you doing?
Wow.
This is going on the internet.
Wow.
This is
Not funny.
Not funny.
Not funny.
I didn't even get to the whole thing yet.
Yeah, just wait.
Whoa.
There's nothing funny about this.
Is the way I'm describing it?
It's just a situation.
It's been a long day.
Whoa. All right. So in this scenario, you can't stop the train. Like you can't Spider-Man, you can't tell the people to like run and get off the train track. Like it is going to hit them.
Wow.
Or there's a lever right next to you and you can flip that lever and the train tracks will shift to the left and the train will then switch tracks and only hit one person. So not having any context about who these people are, it's simply just a group of people on this side and one person on this side. What do you do?
Around the horn?
Go ahead.
I think you just take out the one, as hard as that is. Because let's say it's an end of the world scenario too. You're gonna need more people.
Yeah, I didn't even take it to that level.
Right?
No, you don't add anything.
Okay.
to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you save the one because one is just as important as 100, you said?
It's just a group.
Oh, a group. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a tough one, but I think it's just a pill you have to swallow.
Yeah.
So wait, you would save the one and kill the 100?
No. He's saying he would switch the lever.
Yeah. Correct.
Correct.
Wait,
Killing the one.
Killing
is there
the one.
100 on one
It's just
side?
a group of people.
Oh, okay.
Just a group
Usually
of people.
they say like 5 or something like that.
Yeah, we'll get there.
But it doesn't really matter.
Just a group of
Just
people.
more than one. Yeah.
That's tough.
Hmm.
Who is the person? The one person?
We'll get to that. But for right now, all you see is a group of people over here, and you see one person here.
Well, I think in that situation, you're going to sacrifice that one person
one.
compared to the 100.
Yeah.
If you don't know who it is.
Mhm.
I think just in numbers wise, saving 100 people, I think over one outweighs it.
Yeah.
I hope.
Do we all agree on that or no?
I feel like based on how you were setting that up of like we're gonna get there, I feel like no matter what answer I pick, I'm gonna get condemned either way.
You're not going to be
But-
condemned, but I will challenge you.
It's
I will
not
challenge you.
not a trick question though,
Right.
because the way Brandon set it up, that is the moral dilemma. Like you don't, as soon as you start adding information to it, it changes it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, so
So-
you have to think about the problem just as the information is given.
Okay, so one versus many, you gotta take out the one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough call. I think it was in college, like my freshman year of college, I had a few debates about this because people were saying like, oh no, because if you flip that lever, like you're responsible, like you're the cause of that one person to die. But
But if you don't flip the lever,
you're still responsible and you're still therefore the cause. So that's where that was hard for me to like get through to them. Because yeah, if you see a group of people and you see one person over here, like it's probably not going to be a question like you flip the switch, and like as tough as it is, you may have been like part of the cause of killing that one person, but you also just saved like another group. And by you not flipping the switch, that's you still making a decision to allow those people to die. So then, kind of what Milo's saying, if you take that a step further, well, what happens if the group of people over there are like, I don't know, like prisoners or something? Whose stomach? Is that
think
noise?
that was
That was
someone's
Wes's.
throat.
Get a close up. Get a close up on that. Just point the mic down. It's a group, I don't know, or like bad people. You know, people have done bad things. Or there's one person who's like a honest citizen or whatever, follows the rules, pays their taxes. Like what do you do? Like, do you still hit the switch? Like,
So this is interesting because have any of you seen The Dark Knight? Oh, of course, all of you have.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely, it's one of the best
So-
movies ever.
At the end of The Dark Knight, you have the two boats, and the one
Yep.
boat is filled with just ordinary citizens, and the other boat is filled with like mass murderers and like the worst of the worst. And they have a choice they could blow up the one boat, and the other boat would be fine, or
yeah.
Or
They
they
each
both
have to-
or they
they
both
each have to blow
explode
up
if
the
they
other one.
don't.
yeah,
do
or they
anything.
both
Yeah.
explode if they don't,
Mhm.
and they both do the great job of not exploding
Yeah.
each other, and so like that shows the heart amongst the prisoners as well, of like taking charge of like, no, they're good
The
people.
dude throws it out the window.
Yeah,
I
he throws
thought
it
that
out
was
the
really
window.
noble.
That was so cool.
That was
like,
cool. And then even on like the other boat, the guy was like about to press it, and he just like couldn't do it because he just
Yeah.
realized like there were people on that boat.
that there's people,
Yeah.
you know, like
So that's why in that scenario, I think I'm still flipping the switch, to be honest, because it's like as terrible as it is. Not that switch. I'm saying like the train track scenario.
Yeah,
Either it hits like
yeah.
a group of prisoners or it's one person. Like as messed up as it may be that these prisoners, like whatever they done, like they are still human at the end of the day, and like they still deserve just as much of a life as like the one person.
I just want to make a note. So the situation that Noah is now talking about is you are on the tracks.
Right. Yeah, that one.
And then there's you're on the side of not prisoners. There's prisoners on the other side, and you each have a switch.
yeah.
So it's a different
Yeah.
calculation.
Yeah.
That's why these problems are so difficult, because you do have to think about them like as they're set up.
right. And
And
I was
it-
trying to
and every-
connect it, but
No, but it's a great point. But it's like every situation is strange and like really weird to try to solve.
Yeah.
And
I would-
it depends on your moral principles too.
I would say the 100. I think they have an opportunity still. Like you said, as terrible as being like criminals, yes, they made their choices where they were, but they still have an entire lifetime. And I think that's hard to. Yeah, I think I'd.
So,
I'd
Brandon,
choose
you
100.
know that hospital example, or do you want me to? I don't know if you know that one.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah, that was one of them on here.
Well,
Um,
okay.
if
So
you just go ahead.
yeah,
Just go ahead.
well, going back to the original one, all right. I think this is usually why they like try to keep it to like 5 people on one track. So like there's like one person on one track, 5 people on the other track. Let's say you don't know anything else about them. Like they're morally neutral. There's not serial killers on one side or the other. They're just like morally neutral, equally, valuable people, I guess. I think everyone is intrinsically valuable, but like don't add any information to it, okay? So most people say they'll switch the lever so that the train kills the one person. The majority of people will say that. There's like a minority of people that will say they just don't do anything because they don't want to be responsible for killing the one person. Okay, well, there's a parallel example that it structurally is the same. So you're a doctor, okay? You're in a hospital. And there's 5 people that are going to die if they don't get organ transplants.
And each one
and
needs a
there's-
different organ.
A different organ, right? And there's one healthy person that's going to get out of the hospital. They're going to make it out of the hospital. They could be a patient. They could be just a person in the hospital. It doesn't really matter. Let's just say they're a patient. They're healthy now. They're about to survive. Okay. Do you kill the healthy patient, harvest their organs to save the 5 unhealthy people?
It's
terrible.
It's so messed up. But it's like
but
structurally
structurally,
the same. Yeah, I know
it's the
exactly
same
what you're talking
problem.
about. It's essentially the same thing.
So you would kill the one healthy person to harvest their organs to save the 5.
Yep.
And there's no option to do either.
No.
Yeah.
You have to pick one or the other.
You have to either not do anything and let the 5 people die, and the one person, a healthy person, lives, or you actively do something and kill the healthy person, harvest their organs. It's the same problem as the trolley problem.
Yeah.
So the one thing I can only think of is like, right, as a doctor, there is no, correct me if I'm wrong, Brandon, but like in the medical field, there is something called the Hippocratic Oath, of where you're not going to do, harm to your patients.
Yeah.
So like I look at it from that aspect of, you're not going to do harm to your patients, and if that patient is healthy, you can't do harm to them by killing them and trying to save other people.
Yeah, I think
Unless they were willing.
I think with this scenario, the only thing that's different, like you're right, like it's very, very similar between the two, but like then it asks like, oh, like are these just natural sicknesses or whatever? Because in that case, like, you wouldn't. But given no other information, they're just going to die, and you have to kill this person. Like, yeah, I mean, it's.
What would you do?
I don't know. Like, it's weird. I
think it's pretty
in
clear.
in that moral argument, in that like no other context. I'm saying you probably have to let the person die in order to save the other 5.
Are they
No, it's not
guaranteed
let
to
the
live
person-
though?
Kill the
Or,
person.
right, kill the person.
But what would you do?
Well, like given no other context, just with that moral dilemma, just because it is like a parallel with the train track, like I think I'd have to kill the person.
Would you
Save the
actually though?
5 in real life? No, not
Well,
in
why
real
not?
life, because there's so much more that would like go to it.
Like what?
Like I said, are these natural diseases that happen? Because if it's natural, like that's just kind of life. That's how it is. In the train track scenario, it's like, oh my gosh, like this is unnaturally happening. Like this is right here.
All right,
And
let's
I
say
need
it's
to flip it.
unnatural then. They're unnatural diseases, whatever that is.
Some might
Well,
call
it's
it
not really.
unnatural.
I don't know what unnatural is.
Me
though,
neither.
like-
I don't know. You brought in this
No, but
extra
like
thing. I don't
it's
know what
natural to get diseases and to die and to need like organ transplants, or you're gonna die. Like with a train track scenario, it's not natural. It's just like an emergency like situation.
Then why do
in
we
the sense
save
that-
people in hospitals if it's just natural that they're gonna die?
Well, you're not tearing apart somebody else in order to save them. Like you're doing other treatments that are not at the expense of other people.
But you're saying that if somebody is going to die a natural death, then you should just it's natural. That's the natural course of things. Why do we save those people to begin with? Like disregard the
Killing
need
the
to
one
like kill
person?
to kill
Oh.
another person.
Because life has value.
Yeah, life has value.
Okay, well, doesn't that person's life that is healthy have value as well?
Yeah, they do. So that's what I'm
But
saying.
what-
I'm not gonna.
But what outweighs someone else's life? Like how can you compare your life to other people? Like how does that equal out to each other? So is it like one of me equal 10 people? Does it equal one person? Does it equal 100 people? Like what is that value? And how can you compare? Like you can't measure that.
And that would just be a chaotic society if you just had to go around killing people to give organs out to the many people.
Give
'Cause
me your organs.
You don't really have to even have the hospital scenario then, like a patient discharging. It could just be you just grab somebody off the street and just.
Let's make the problem simpler. Let's say it is like an unnatural death. I'm not sure that makes a difference, but let's just say like somebody went and stole those people's organs or something like that, and
Give me
they need them
Like-
back.
Luke, I'm
Dude,
taking your
I
organs.
think you lost me. I don't know what's going on.
All
Well,
right.
what do you mean?
Okay, so the train example you're
Right.
saying is unnatural. I'm not exactly sure why, because people naturally die from getting hit by trains all the time. But
yeah, but it's
let's-
not natural that like there's like 100 people on the track. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a very hypothetical. Like in a hospital, you know, you could have multiple people that are like going to die if they don't get an organ transplant.
So it's just because it's like common that it happens.
It's like more.
So what if it was
Does
just
anyone else
common?
know what I'm talking about? Like a natural death.
Mhm.
It's a natural cause of death.
What if it was just common for people to like get hit by a train?
But it's like not. I mean, yes, you do get hit by a train, but it's not as natural as dying of a natural sickness or requiring an organ transplant. I would say there's a significantly higher chance that I'm going to die of a sickness and need an organ transplant of some kind than for me to get hit by a train. Because that's like the natural course of life. My body, my cells are eventually going to degenerate. I'm going to.
Okay, I'm trying to think of how we can make them parallel though. So let's
So,
say that
I
it is
think I
an
know what you mean.
unnatural. It's an unnatural disease, like like I don't know. My original example, somebody actively like stole these people's organs or something like that.
So someone came into the hospital, went to these 5 patients,
Yeah,
and took out an organ.
it doesn't have to be at the hospital, but like at
Took
some
out their
point
organ.
they were missing these. Somebody stole their organs,
It's like
right?
the
Nope.
Grinch of organs.
Yeah.
Now they're
Nope.
in the
I
hospital.
no longer have a liver.
That's not a common thing to happen for people to just like steal your organs. It does happen, just like trains. People get hit by trains. All right. So it's a rare occurrence, but that is the state of things. Somebody like stole these people's organs,
Okay.
and there's a healthy person that has the same blood type. You know, their immune systems are going to be able to tolerate those organs pretty well, and you can kill them. Do you kill that person to save the 5 other people?
Kill him.
Really?
I say no.
But that would be going against you, though. You'd personally be killing somebody.
Yeah, just like the
Yeah, but I
train
think it's
problem.
the same. You got to think it's the same. It's the same thing as the train. It's just a different
But it's just like a.
worded different.
It's
It's a
just like a
different
real
context now.
real life
I think okay.
scenario. Like I just.
I think when you go ahead and you make the decision to act, to play God, I think that's when it's wrong. But when you let something happen, in my eyes, that's not wrong.
Mm.
So like, yes, either way, I still have the decision to make. But me actively doing something, me like actively stabbing someone, or me letting those diseases take care of them, like you get one kind of
Okay.
saying.
So then why don't we just snag people off the street right now and just cut them up and take their organs and
Because
donate
it's
them?
wrong. It's evil.
Because that's evil.
Right.
Right. But okay, so to your point, let's say there's 5 people on one track and there's no people on the other track. Okay?
Mhm.
You can switch the train to save the 5 people, right?
Okay.
If you choose not to switch the train, are you actively doing something?
Yeah.
Yes, you're choosing not to do something.
That's what I was saying. I think because now that kind of that counters what you were talking about before, that you would hit the switch.
Because you have the ability to. I see what you're saying. So if you have the ability to play God, that's wrong. Like, you know, but if you,
I don't know if I quite fully understand it. Can you explain it?
So
so
I'm trying to make the point that if you choose to do nothing, that is an action as well.
if you have
Correct.
an option,
Mm-hmm.
That's the lesser evil for me.
The lesser evil is to let the 5 people die rather than kill the one person.
Correct.
Wait,
No,
wait, you said
I
the
honestly
lesser
don't know.
I see
Wait,
what
maybe-
you mean.
Wait, you said the lesser evil is to let the 5 people die?
Yeah,
because you're not doing anything.
because I am
wow.
not physically. I didn't give them. I didn't take out their organs. I didn't give
we're
them a
on this one.
sickness.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm
I got you. I thought we were on
I'm
the train.
killing this one person. Right, I'm taking their organs. I'm physically cutting Wes open.
So what if it's not you
taking
then?
his
What if you're
organs.
just
Sorry,
like?
You're just
Plus,
in the
your
way.
organs were
Right.
taking them. Give them
But-
to us.
So what if it's not you actively doing the snip, snap,
Then-
snip, snap?
Then it's
but
in my eyes, it's not as bad, or lesser.
because
the
it's not
evil.
you personally. Okay.
Correct.
Right.
Because
I-
I
I
don't
think
have
in
the
the-
But then-
responsibility.
In the hospital example, that makes a lot more sense to me.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't think there's. It did just on the face of it seems evil to kill somebody to save others.
Yeah.
In that
Mhm.
context.
Mhm.
It's weird that those are like different though. I think the problem is what I'm getting at with like the real life is that like in a hospital, like I work in a hospital.
This is real life.
Whoa. So like I'm never gonna. I mean, I'm assuming I'm never gonna have like an actual scenario where like there's a train going towards people and I have to hit a lever. So it's just like it's a little bit. I don't even know. I thought that I was able to explain like the natural cause, but it's just that's how life is. Like people die, but.
You got another one?
If he dies,
Yeah,
he dies.
I think I'm just not sure that that's relevant because people also die from trains. And groups of people die from getting hit by trains too. So I
but
don't-
it's not always an option to like flip the switch.
I mean, you could make the argument that people rarely die of certain diseases too. You know, like salmonella or something like that.
Oh,
it that's not a common. It's a natural thing to happen, but it's not common.
Allegedly.
Whereas like heart disease is pretty common.
Yeah.
See, like,
So I could say like if they don't, they all have an uncommon disease.
so
Yeah.
what I'm thinking of on the context of this is like the way you could really now twist it on someone is those 5 people that need organ transplants are your family, and that one person is just
Yeah,
a random
Then
person.
emotions come into play.
Yeah, then emotions come into play, and it's like, geez, I don't know.
In this scenario, I would say if it's me having to kill the person, I'm still not going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
But if I can pass that off to somebody else and they'll do it,
And I think
then I'd
part of
probably let
it-
my emotions give over. And
part of it, I think I would be able to if the person was like, yeah, I'd be willing to be an organ donor
Yeah.
to these people so that
Yeah,
they
dude,
would
I
be
don't know.
saved.
That's
What
really
about
tough.
here's a different the same hospital scenario, but let's word a little bit different. Instead of like the organ transplant, because that's kind of seems like you're taking something to give. But let's just say same like 1 in 5, but it's medicine. Let's say they're all sick, but you only have, I don't know why it wouldn't, the math doesn't really add up, but you can either give the medicine to 5 people or you can give it to that one person, which is I'd say it's more similar to the train scenario.
Yeah.
Because
in
it
that
seems
case, I'd
like
give
with the
medicine to
organs, you're
5.
like, you're taking something from that person to give it to other people. This is like, you're just choosing, do I save 5 or do I save 1? Kind of like the lever with the train. Do I save 100 or do I save 1?
Yeah.
And I think in that situation, for me, it's a lot easier to say, well, I'd save 5.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think so.
I just think, I don't know if that wording makes it more difficult to like decide, like, am I going to take the person's organs? At least that's
Yeah.
how for me it
Yeah,
is.
I think super generic face value, save 1 or save 5. I feel like naturally everybody's gonna save 5.
That is a different problem now though, because that's like you have 2 trains, 2 separate tracks, and you can like divert either of the trains. You can either only divert the 5-person train or the 1-person train. So it's kind of like there's a
Yeah.
disease coming to kill
Yeah.
the group of 5 people, and there's a disease, the same disease killing the one person, and you can either divert either one. So it's now with the different.
Yeah.
It's a different calculus, and I think that one's like very clear. If you're gonna divert one, I
Be
mean,
5, yeah.
like it's either you save 1 person or 5 people. I don't know, but it is.
Or they
it's
all
very
die and you just
similar.
don't feel bad about it.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
And then
Just
you-
walk away.
Yikes. Yikes. All right, yeah, that one was saucy. And there's so many different ways you can go with that, and there's so many different things you can add to that.
I just want to note that like these are good exercises, but these types of moral situations rarely ever happen. They do happen, in my opinion, but the problem with these types of situations is that there's no other option. There's no hope of trying to find like another solution. There's no way to try to find a solution to save everyone. Whereas in real life, you normally do have that situation.
Mhm.
There's sometimes situations where you don't, but
Yeah.
Do you have another one? Brandon the
Yeah,
Stallion?
I got a couple. These ones are I think a little bit lighter. But you're at like a friend's wedding, and just an hour before the ceremony is about to start.
Like your wedding?
No.
Yeah, let's make it
no,
personal.
No,
Yeah,
don't make it personal,
that's-
'cause this is about to get really dark here.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Okay.
But earlier that day, you came across like proof that your best friend's spouse,
Your best friend.
Bosom buddy.
your best friend's spouse is having an affair with somebody, and you catch them sneaking out of a room together, and you can tell that they like.
Tell them.
Oh boy.
Easy.
If you tell your friend about the affair, their day will be ruined, and they won't get married. But if you don't, they'll be marrying a cheater.
Oh, tell them.
Oh,
Yeah.
tell
Tell
them.
them.
Tell them.
Yeah, tell them.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we're all in agreement
Yeah, no
there.
way.
Yeah.
I'm not letting any of you
Right.
guys get married to somebody I know
Right.
is cheating on you.
Mhm.
Hell no.
Yeah.
Openly cheating. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm telling my best friend right away.
Did I say breast?
I didn't know I had one of those.
Okay. What if we switch it then, and it's the other way around? You see your best friend coming out of a room with somebody, and would you tell the spouse then?
I think
Yeah.
Probably.
if
Yeah.
you're
you
you
love 'em.
truly are friends with that person,
Yeah.
you need to.
You need
No,
to.
I would talk to my friend first. Like if I'm really close to them, I'd probably talk to them first and be like,
Yeah.
"Hey, you gotta
Tell
But
them
like-
explain
yourself.
this."
But like
Yeah.
in this scenario, it's like you only tell the person who doesn't know.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I know. In
Mhm.
real life,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
right. You would approach
Yeah.
the person first.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
But
yeah,
you would
no, I
go to the
think-
spouse first.
Yeah, dude, like that's just wrong.
Yeah.
I don't,
Yeah.
yeah.
You can't stand by that.
Do people have a hard time with those problems?
I'd feel too guilty.
That one, I don't think so. That one was a little bit lighter. Like I said,
Yeah,
that's
I
kind of
don't-
a.
yeah, if
that's
you're-
a- that's a-
I know.
if
I
you were
think
a
I can
witness.
see some people having a problem with that. It's like, oh, it's a bro code. You know,
Right.
like let's say that for sure, if you tell this person or whatever, like you're no longer going to be friends with them. You know, like they're going to cut you out of their life, or if it's like a family
Ooh.
member or something,
Then they're
Like
not a
it's-
real friend.
like it's for sure they're never going to be like your friend anymore.
And it's right before the wedding, so if you didn't say anything, you'd have to watch the wedding
Right.
just
after
happen
you
like
saw
nothing
it.
yeah,
happened.
knowing that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could sit with that.
Yeah.
I would feel
No.
way too
No.
guilty.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, there's a there's another one that kind of goes along with that one. I remember it was like you were searching through work emails or something, and you accidentally stumble across like your friend who works there sending like a message to somebody that's not their partner. Like they're cheating basically. It's like a message that says they're cheating. But if you like approach them and tell them, then you would be flagged because you were looking through like work emails like illegally basically. So you could lose like you'd
Wow.
lose your job. Like we got to keep these like absolutes, you know. I know that only Sith deal knows, but like
Mhm.
we have to keep these like clear cuts. Like if you tell the person like you're going to lose your job, like if you tell the person or confront them or whatever and say like, "Oh, I found like sorry, I had to." You're going to lose your job, or do you not and keep your job?
That one is too context dependent. I think.
Yeah.
Because
I got to find the
I
specific.
can lose a job. Like if I can find another job, I can easily lose a job.
Yeah.
I don't think.
You'll never work again in your life ever, and you'll never make
Yeah.
another dime.
Yeah, that is a different
there you go.
situation then.
Yeah,
Because
that-
then now it doesn't just affect
The
me,
now.
it affects like my family
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Milo, I'll give you a job.
But
No, but in
problem
this
says I
dilemma,
can't.
you can't.
No, but I'm going under the dilemma.
Oh, okay.
Because I like Milo and I'm going to give him a job.
the under level.
Yeah, you just got to go
Right,
under.
the under lemma.
Here's an idea: don't be an idiot and don't cheat, and then you're fine.
There you go.
Mhm.
Everyone,
How about that?
everyone wins in the end.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
You got
Um.
another one for us, Brandon?
Yeah, and if you guys, I don't know if you guys like know any. Maybe you have some, but
Hiroshima Nagasaki is like a really good one. That's a real world.
oh, really? Yeah,
That's
yeah,
a
true.
deep
Let's
one.
talk about that one.
Yeah.
That one is a can of worms.
It's
Did we,
so
we said we were going to talk about it, and then we never did.
in
I
pod.
think so.
Ooh,
no,
I got
in our group chat.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
here. I have. It's a zombie situation.
Ooh.
Would you
like
give me a second to? I have it. It's
We'll go
in my
back to
tongue.
that one.
What map are we talking?
This would probably be Kinori Toten.
Okay,
Excellent.
good.
I mean,
Good.
okay. So, would you rather? All right. Would you rather be the one who survives the zombie apocalypse and you watch your family, your loved ones, be eaten alive, and you survive, like you live through the entire thing, but you watch everyone that you love go through that, or would you rather be the one that turns to a zombie, and you're the one that eats every single one of your family members?
Oh,
I'll survive because my family, they're Christ followers, so I know where they're headed.
There you go.
But you have to think you survived the entire thing, so
Yeah.
everything plays
Is that
out.
I'll survive.
under the lemma answer?
That's adding more context, so it's technically cheating. But I would probably still survive just because.
See,
Yeah, it'd be tough to like see that for sure, but I think it'd be more tough. Well, I guess. Well, yeah, not adding any more context. It'd just be tough to eat your family.
I think
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That wouldn't be
But I
great.
think if
very
you're a
easy.
zombie, you wouldn't really know though. Would
That's what I was
would
about to
you?
say. Like, I don't think you're technically in the right mental state, but that's adding on to things. Let's say you're fully conscious, even though you're not thinking. Like you're fully
you're just eating your.
conscious. I don't think I could live with that.
I think if the question was more like you sacrifice yourself to the the zombie horde so that your family lives.
Oh,
and
then I
they
would do
just
that.
Well, that's
keep
different.
living. Like
Mhm.
then that's different. It's
Yeah.
like obviously, yeah. But
Yeah, that's tough.
That's a tough one. Because if like, what if it was your kids or something,
Yeah.
and you're
Mhm.
gonna like eat your kids?
I'd rather watch my kids die though than physically eat my kids to death.
Yeah, that'd be more traumatic for
It'd
them,
be
I
a
guess,
lot-
during the.
A lot worse.
yeah.
Ha.
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
Paul.
Yeah, I guess.
Either
Aw.
way, your family's dying, which sucks.
Yeah.
But it's just the question is, would you rather survive and having to watch that and live with that for the rest of your life, or would you rather just?
It's so messed up.
Yeah,
Dude.
I know.
It's so messed
I
up.
said let's not go dark, and then look where I took it. Right.
Yeah,
there.
no, I'd survive.
Yeah.
I'd want to survive.
Yeah. I mean, at least like you'd be able to live on and.
And we're back. Welcome. To the Campfire Council
Yeah,
podcast.
Wait, where did we go?
So
I don't know.
my last moral dilemma that I have
Here the whole time.
is
Still here.
you are minding your own business one day, and like this person, they come up to you and they kidnap you, and they drag you to this like
Give me
basement
back
or
my
whatever,
son.
and they hook you up to like this person, basically like you're the source of them like staying alive, and you can, in this weird scenario, you can like still go through normal life, but you're like hooked up to this person now, and you can either pull the plug and they die, and then you'll just be like separated from that, or you stick with it for the 9 months and you let the person survive. And yes, at the end of it, there's like a between 1 and 5% chance that you possibly die from it.
That I die from
Yes.
unplugging myself.
Yeah, from unplugging yourself from the
Well, if
person.
it's
At
a
the
one-
No,
end.
no, no. At
At
the
the
very
end.
end, if you were
Oh.
to let the person survive,
Yeah.
Well,
at the end of the 9
Those are
months.
slim odds, so I'll unplug at the end.
you mean you'll let the person? So it's like
Yeah, they
this
can
is like
tag
their
along.
treatment.
You'll
Okay,
go through
okay.
the 9 months.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that'd be difficult because you're in the same situation, and you're like, "Hey, I'm gonna let you die, and I'm just gonna
Right.
like just live when you
Right.
could both live."
and this
For the most
person,
part.
like they're completely like you can't talk with them. You're not like connecting with them. They're just like
It's really
some
awkward.
person. Yeah,
Not if it's Noah.
and they're like
Noah's a great guy.
Thanks,
That's what I heard.
guys.
we'll say they're like the son of the person that kidnapped you, too.
That makes it trickier.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that for me the answer is clear.
Yeah. And
Like-
it's like, yeah, it would be for sure a tough 9 months, but like, and you'd have to live with like the trauma of being like kidnapped and dragged into that basement and like possibly harmed to be hooked up to the person. But like, in the end, you're saving somebody.
What if they were really annoying?
Well, again, I mean, yes, they cause you pain every once in a while. Like let's say it's like an IV or something that you're hooked up to, and it
Okay.
kind of like, ooh,
Pulls on it?
like yeah, it kind of hurts.
Has that
Here's
ever
an
happened to
idea.
anyone? That
Here's an idea.
Yeah, dude.
What
I
if
know, I'm
you?
getting that, like, weird feeling
What
right
if you
now, like,
just tombstone the kidnapper, like we learned about in the last pod,
Oh, is that the?
and
Yeah.
then he
Okay.
cannot kidnap you, and you do not have to be hooked up to anyone, and life goes on.
I think all kidnappers should be tombstoned.
I agree.
Yeah.
Let's get this in writing.
Yeah.
Let's make a petition and
Should we get
have
the
people
Undertaker
sign it.
in
Yeah,
here?
yeah.
Dum.
let's get the Undertaker on the pod.
Like immediately when they get arrested, the
walks in.
first thing that happens is they just get tombstoned.
JR.
That the tombstone is brutal, dude. I
It
didn't
is very
realize.
brutal.
Like you can break somebody's neck.
Okay, I
with
have a
that.
question.
Yeah.
So it's
Super
It's-
practical, as Luke said.
it is very practical. So WWE is more. I don't watch it anymore. I haven't watched it in years.
Yeah, right.
It's a lot of the moves are fake, like the punches, like they're stomping their foot. But a tombstone like that, how can you? I mean, I understand the platform is made in a certain way where it's not like hard and it's.
You gotta watch his knees. He goes knees first, and then the person tucks their head in.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But it's still got to be hard to do. If you mess that up, you could really mess
Well,
it
Oh
up.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's a art.
What about
or like
what
a
about
sport.
jumping off of the top turnbuckle
Swanton bomb.
and like jumping onto tables and stuff because you're still hitting them like you're jumping on them. Like
Yeah.
what are you supposed to do
You
about that?
toughen up.
What is your question? Like, how do you do it safely?
Yeah, like how do
They're trained.
I don't know.
Get over it, Brandon.
Okay.
We don't have to get into it, but I was just.
I have
curious,
another
like,
moral argument.
Oh,
You walk into a bathroom, okay,
why?
and there are 3 urinals.
Mhm.
No.
I
Forget
love
that.
this.
Forget that. There are 12 urinals. For
12.
some
Wow.
reason.
Okay.
So many
11,
options.
11 of them are filled, but there's one directly in the middle of
You
the
go-
2 people.
Is there dividers in between?
No,
each
there's
urinal?
no, there
How
are no
bad do you have to
dividers.
pee?
You have to pee very bad.
I'm going
I'm
immediately.
going.
you pee.
You go in the middle of
Oh,
those,
absolutely.
yes.
I don't
and
care.
it's what if it's like shoulder to shoulder?
I'm gonna squeeze right in there.
Good.
I have to pee.
Scoot over, bucko.
Yeah.
What if
Always
you don't
gotta
have to pee
pee.
that bad? You're waiting.
Then sure, I'll wait.
Yeah.
Like on a scale of 1 to 10, what are we talking right now?
10.
Like 10 being the absolute,
Oh.
like I'm going to pee my pants like
Yes.
right now.
Yes.
I'm going right in there. and
That was the
peeing.
first
Mhm.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
What if it's like there are 12 and like 6 of them are filled, like every other, and you don't have to go that bad? Like, do you pick one?
Whatever's closest.
Yeah.
You're gonna go in between the people, even though you don't have to go to the bathroom that bad.
Yeah, if I have to go, I'm just gonna go.
Like sure,
Yeah.
it's gonna be weird like initially, but it's like everyone's there to pee.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's like the unspoken rule of like you go every other. Sure, I'm not gonna choose to I'm gonna go next to you to pee. Like that's weird. But if I have to go, I've said it before, I'll say it again. As I have to pee, the more and more I have to pee, more and more options become available. Like if I have to pee that bad, I'm gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
Also, there's this restaurant called Highland House in Mequon,
Ooh, so good.
and the urinals there, it's outrageous. There's like 3 urinals, right, and they are stacked on top of each other. It's crazy. It's like
I've been there a couple
here,
times and I've
here,
never noticed
here. It's
that.
like really, really close. Like there's like almost no gap.
Highland.
You're all like peeing into like one trough. It's insane.
Nice.
Oh,
Not a good experience.
in California, they literally have a trough. It like people will actually like go. It's a famous. It's like they did like a
Moral
whole
dilemmas to
news
peeing
thing on it, I
troughs.
think, and it's people will literally go and like females will ask to go just look at it. Like it's that well known where it's just literally a trough, and the dudes just walk in and you just pee right into the trough.
That's
And it has like a waterfall
That's
effect
dope.
to like.
that's what they used to have.
That's
They either
dope.
used to have it at Miller Park or County Stadium here in Milwaukee for the Brewers. They used to have that for the bathrooms. Like it was just like a well-known thing.
Yeah, it's weird.
Like it was like totally fine.
Actually,
Actually,
that's a
peop-
moral dilemma.
That is
Yeah.
my last one then that I have is. You guys gotta bear with me because this one's a long one.
I'm not going to.
Okay. So you're talking with somebody, okay? And you tell them like, oh, like I really like sushi or whatever. And they're like, oh, I don't like sushi. You're like, oh, like have you ever tried it? And they're like, no, I'm like never tried it before. Or they're like, I had it like 10 years ago, but I didn't really like it that much. And you're like, oh, well, you haven't tried it like recently. Like, would you want it? And so that you give them a sushi and they're like, all right, fine, like I'll try it. So you give them like a California roll or something. And they pick out,
What is a California roll, Brandon?
Avocado, rice.
Salmon.
No salmon.
oh,
Avocado, rice, and nuts. I believe.
Imitation
Okay.
crab.
and
Is
cucumber.
it? Okay.
Yeah.
so,
cucumber.
okay, yeah. So you give them, I actually didn't know that. So
Maybe
that
not
kinda helps
nuts, I don't
us.
know, maybe
So
the
you
same
give them
things.
like you give them a California roll and they only pick out the avocado and they eat it. And they're like, nope, I don't like it. I don't like sushi. You're like, but you didn't try like the whole thing. You didn't try like enough of it or whatever. Like, you're not going to like it. And they're like, no, I don't like sushi. So you're like, okay, you have to eat at least enough. You don't have to eat the whole thing in order to say that you like it, but you have to try like enough in order to like it, right? So finally, like, you give them the California roll. They eat enough of it to like it, or to try it, and they say like, no, I don't like it. All sushi is bad. Like, all types of rolls, they're all bad. Like, well, no, there's so many different kinds. There's mango, there's dragon rolls, there's like spicy crab rolls. Like, just because you didn't like that one sushi doesn't mean that you can't like any of them, right? So bear with me, I'm almost done. So wouldn't you say that just because you watched one episode of anime means that you don't all of anime and the camera's cut out? This is like,
I'm just
it's like
not,
an act of God or something.
I'm not a fan.
I just like, can you at least admit to me?
That was good.
Can you at least admit to me that my logic is sound there? You monsters!
Snooze fest. I was falling
real,
asleep
real
during that.
quick. Both of these are
Yeah,
out.
both of them are
they're
out.
both. We'll wrap her up here after in a few minutes, but I see what you're saying, Brandon. But
I don't.
my taste buds don't match up.
So you would agree that they took one. I mean, you haven't even had that one avocado
Yeah,
piece. You haven't
I
even
have.
tried it.
Yeah, I have.
When?
I've tried watching anime multiple times.
When?
Like years ago.
Okay.
Like high school ended. I tried watching it through the summer because all my friends had Crunchyroll on the PS4s and they told me to
Crunchyroll.
get it, and I watched it. It's just not my thing.
Okay.
Like I can watch.
I actually didn't know
ones,
that. I actually didn't know that.
I can watch certain ones, and certain ones aren't bad.
So you tried different sushi,
but
but you didn't like it. All right.
yeah. Like
All
I
right,
like.
that's
more of
fair.
the
I'll leave you alone.
I like more of the Americanized version
Like
of
Outlaw,
what.
Avatar.
Well, yeah, and like Dragon Ball is more Americanized and stuff. Like.
Oh, really? No, that's
No, that's
Oh,
pretty.
that's
pretty
pretty-
Japanese.
yeah, that's like a classic.
really?
Yeah.
Oh.
You like
like
Dragon Ball?
Ball?
Yes,
I've
let's
always
go.
liked
an
Dragon
Bro,
Ball.
wait, what do you mean?
I've always liked Dragon Ball.
That's
What do you-
anime.
That's like the only one I like, though.
That's fine.
That's
That's
fine,
anime.
dude.
Oh,
You're in the
okay.
club.
Oh,
There you
yo,
go.
wait. I didn't know you were chill like
that was
that.
on their side.
That's
He's
crazy.
against- he's
Wait,
against
why
us.
didn't you say this sooner?
I'm gonna walk.
Dude, I've said it before.
That's
I'm
fine if
out.
you don't like any other anime. I mean, Dragon Ball Z is like top tier. So
Dragon
like,
Ball or Dragon Ball Z?
Dragon Ball Z.
There you go.
Specifically,
there
but
you go.
That's legit. Dude.
Yeah, that's legit.
Yeah.
I had no idea. All right, I'm gonna leave you alone now.
You're thinking it's
Luke.
Americanized because you
Hey,
watched.
I
the dub
watched-
version. Yeah.
You watched. You had one little piece of the avocado. You only.
No,
you-
I remember recently I watched The Witcher, the animated
that's
movie.
That's different. That's different.
Well, it's still something.
It's still sushi,
that's like
bro.
that's like the raw sushi.
It's still sushi,
That's like
bro.
the other version of sushi. It's like a
I
different
will-
kind of sushi.
Here's where this is where I land myself.
Can we get sushi? By the way, is it too late?
Sounds good.
I don't know.
Pick and Save. What time did they close
Pick and
at?
save
They
sushi.
probably
They're
close at
definitely
like
close.
10.
It's not bad, by the way.
Sorry.
It's
Wait,
yours.
Luke, wait, hold on,
Here's
Luke.
where I land myself, and
Snow Fox.
I don't know if we
Is
want to
that
wrap
okay?
it up because the cameras
Yeah,
went off,
I'm
but
done. I just want to do that. That was funny.
we'll kind of finish it
That's
here.
funny.
That was funny though.
I understand that I should like anime, just like how with you guys
Nerd.
being a nerd, I should, and I've tried not a ton, but I've tried. I've tried some pieces of the sushi, right? And I've also watched like The Witcher, Avatar: Last Airbender. I like those. I like anime if it's on a show or a movie that I already like. So The Witcher I liked because I like The Witcher. Visions was all right because I like Star Wars. And Avatar: Last Airbender I just grew up with and I like that.
See, the only problem I'll say with this is like somebody trying to copy like the original sushi that's in like Japan or something, like authentic sushi.
I guess
Like
I just
maybe it
don't
can
like
be
the
good, but
authentic.
you haven't tried the
See, like
authentic.
Brandon,
I can
did
get
you
around on that.
did you like Visions?
I didn't watch Visions.
Okay, I was a big fan of Visions when it came out for Star Wars. Like, I really liked a lot of their different stuff that they put out, and like some of them were traditional, like Japanese like film creators that put these stuff out. And so like I did like
Yeah.
some of it. Some of it I just kind of thought it was like, yeah, this is like stereotypical like anime cheesy like.
Yeah,
cheese
I
fest.
never watched that.
Well,
All right. Well, there's a power trip here. I thought I was
Oh.
closing us, dude. I got a taste of the power.
Oh boy.
I had the gauntlet on for a second.
well,
but-
folks, we apologize for the cameras going out. Some fun technical difficulties, but we'll wrap her up there. Make sure you don't go killing a bunch of people with a train.
Yeah, don't do that.
Or taking people's organs. That's not a good idea. We don't recommend that.
Don't do that.
But if you do, we did not tell you to do it. So
That's correct.
off of that, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. This is the Campfire Council Podcast.